Okay, so today I'm going to talk about quickly 15 minutes. I'm going to talk about high score release notes, and then the first thing I'm going to talk about is that we have started working on algebra, math and English course for SAT. And the first course we have already built is algebra course, and if you want, I can give you access so that you can be an like a preview, given early feedback, and have your have your opinion baked into the course development. But this course is already built, algebra course, and you can even start using it with your students. We have done one round of review and everything looked good. We have reviewed the questions and all. So that's algebra course, we have built it. Then we are also working on English course. And again, in this course, the whole philosophy is you have chapters. Within chapters, you have units, and then each unit has a small quiz. And then on top of it, you have a full-length course, a full-length test. And these are new questions, most of the cases. So it will be totally additional question built only for the course and all. So I'm planning to do another webinar maybe in a couple of weeks where talk more about course itself, like how to use this course, the advantage of the course, take some feedback from people like you. And then we have started working on English course too. We are a little bit slow here, but then that's the nature of English. It's a little hard for us to build it. So we have developed 2 chapters on this. And again, I'm going to share it with a couple of my partners and customers like you who will review this and give the feedback and maybe start using it. And I'm going to share this with you also. Yeah. Now, what's coming next on the course side or content side? We are adding 5 new chapters in problem solving and data analysis. This is the course under development right now. And we are doing it by unit. So each unit a course, and we can then later on create a bundle out of it. Then we are also adding 4 more chapters in SAT English. Hopefully by end of December, we will have 2 full-length courses, very, very close to a book, ready on the platform. Then we are also adding 120 new hard and moderate questions in the question bank. We are also reviewing the newly released questions by College Board, and we are looking to that one too. Then we are also creating the newer, harder version of test math 5 and 6, and then we'll do the harder math for other 4 section tests also. So you know there are 12 section tests, 12 full-length tests. So in 12 full-length tests, we created V2 version, which are harder in nature. They start with a harder module, and then they get progressively harder because of challenging questions. So many tutors who complain that, hey, some kids who are already getting 1500 plus, they needs to be challenged. Otherwise, why would they study with us? Why will they learn with us?
I love that idea. So are you saying that those harder ones are just the full-length tests?
Right now, those V2 tests are the harder tests. So here, if I go to the platform here on this side, I'll timed out here.
Yeah, I think I have a couple students that would want to do that.
So you want to give harder test to them, for example, V2. So test 1 is regular College Board level test, like V2 is very hard test. So it would be a little hard for somebody to, you will see at least 100 to 150 points difference between these 2 tests. So you want to challenge someone, give them V2 test. And eventually we'll remove V01 just to avoid a confusion. So we'll keep 6 regular and 6 harder. Same thing we are going to do on the section test. So 6 section test will be harder math side, because math usually last 4 or 5 questions are harder. So we are going to we'll build 6 harder tests on math side also by adding a more harder questions and all, and replacing the sections or more, those modules. So to begin with, we are doing by next week, we are doing chapter 5 and math test 5 and math test 6.
Okay, was that a section test that you just showed me? The one that was the test?
So these are the full length test, TSAT adaptive test.
Full length. Okay, got it.
Section test would be here under the section test panel.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. So these are the module. These are the section test here. This color, the blue ones. The green ones are full length.
Right. Yeah, I knew that. I knew the color. I just forgot.
So then about platform, again, in the interest of time, and let me know if you want me to, dig deeper into it. But for now, I'm going a little bit faster. So we have built a new student dashboard. Earlier it was not there. Earlier when a student logged in, they directly come to, there was no dashboard. They directly came to assessment. So based on the feedback from a couple of tutors, I would say, we build a dashboard where you can see a quick overview of your overall performance right now. Sorry. So score trend is the first one. If you are enrolled in multiple course programs, you will see SAT, ACT and all. You can, suppose you want to see only reading and total and math. You want to hide, you can just click at the legend here. Or if I click off this one and see only math score, I can see the math score or math and English and reading both. We are also going to enhance it to show by, rather than by program, show it by program and subject also, because you wanted to see all of the math tests we have taken, how did this student do. So we are talking about that one too. Then we are also measuring in terms of weekly or monthly, how many minutes the student is spending on the platform, either in learning, which is all the courses we don't have right now, that's why you'll see all zeros, and practice time. So this day he
Oh, I
spent,
love that.
and you
I
can see
have some that have been inconsistent. I think it'd be really good to show them that. So that's
how,
nice.
so if somebody is not practicing, you can see. Second thing you will see is you can set a goal for a student and say, okay, let's do 20 questions every day. And then you can measure and say, okay, how many questions you have done every day compared to your goal. Like if the goal is 140, how many questions you have done it. Type. By the way, I realized that this should not be 140, it should be 20, because 20 multiplied by 740 it is counting. So we're gonna fix it. Oh, this is a weekly. Okay. If I say daily, then it will change it to daily. Okay, so you can see daily how many questions they have done it. Okay, no, this is good. So the next one you have this accuracy analysis, like which area the student is doing good. So like if I want to see in the math, which area of math within algebra I want to drill down, you can see how they are doing percentage accuracy of this student. And again, this is a sample, count.
Has this already gone live? Is this in the system
Every
now?
student will have
Okay,
this dashboard. Yes.
very good.
Yeah. And then you will see latency, like where they're spending more time in solving a question, average time. So on the time side, you will see ACT reading, this student is spending a lot more time and all. So this is another one. And again, you can filter it on particular area. Like I want to see reading and writing, and I want to see expression of ideas. So it will drill down by topic of that unit. The next one is you want to know your strength, where you are doing really well. And like math, in SAT math, you can see you're pretty good. In this account, you can say advanced math, you're doing pretty good, but not so good in geometry and all. And then same thing, your weakness. So you want to see, okay, in math side, what's my weak areas? And since we don't have enough data, you don't see anything here right now. Then we also have given options to a student to say, you can add a question to your favorite. So suppose a student is taking a test and not taking a test, after he is done with the test, during the test, you bookmark a question and you can access those bookmark questions also. But let's say you're practicing and after the test, you're reviewing the results and you wanted to discuss a question with the teacher. So after the test, you can't bookmark it. So we have provided an option to add questions to your favorites. So once you add it to your favorites, you can, this is basically you want to discuss with the teacher or so, you flag it and not really flag it, add it to your favorites using the heart icon. And then you can open this. Right now you don't see anything, but this is all your questions. So you can go to your favorites, you can go to your bookmark questions, you can go to your issue logs, all the questions you flagged and you said there was something wrong with this question. And these are also the, issue log is all the questions that you have solved it incorrectly all these days. Just before the test, like 3 days before the test, you want to review all your missed questions, either solved incorrectly or you did not answer. So that is, we call it issue log. And then flagged issue is the question that you thought there is a question, there is an issue in the quality of the question. So you want to filter that. There is nothing from this student. So we give like 360-degree view from a student side of all your favorite questions. Earlier it was not there. You already had bookmarked, you already had issue log, and you did not have flag issues. So these two we added, and now you can access this from here also. It says my questions. So this will bring this view where you can see all in one place. So that's another one. Okay. So we talked about this one, and let me go back to the dashboard again so that I can finish that thought here. We talked about this one. And then you can see all your next assessment. What should you do next? Based on if you take this test, these are your recommendation, or these are the tests that's assigned to you. And you should do this test. Earlier, students were kind of lost when they were in assessments because they saw so many assessments in many cases. So now you can see these are the tests assigned to you. And I'm going to quickly talk also about what's coming next. You will be able to set a date on a test. You can say, okay, I want John Doe to take this test by Thursday, and he will have that test as a high priority here and with the target date. And then you can see that he did not take the test, he missed it, and then you can send a reminder to the student. So we are setting a target date also. Some big changes are coming. I'm going to talk about it. Some really exciting changes. Then you can also do self-practice. And in the self-practice, earlier you had only subject and unit. Now you can also do a topic. So suppose if I select math, and let's say I want to do in algebra, you can see within algebra, I want to do linear equation only. Earlier, you couldn't do that. You can do only math and unit. So we now gave an option to select topic also, one or more topics, so that you can just focus on that particular topic. And question of the day was there already. We just brought it on the dashboard. So that is what this, change we did it. Big change. We did a lot of effort in this one, but we brought it. Next one, I'm going to talk about another exciting one. I think some of the competing platform has it, the Blue Book result import. So suppose a student already took a diagnostic test on a Blue Book, and you wanted to bring that data also for analysis here. So you should be able to now do it. If a student can go to the profile, say my profile, and then you can go to Blue Book results, and you can import the Blue Book results here. If you click import, you can set your score here. You can set math score. You can set composite score, and then upload a PDF file. How do you generate a PDF file? We created Learn More, and you will see in this one, we wrote that how do you download from College Board. This is how you should be able to export it. Pretty simple. All you have to do is to print PDF, from the result, and that result will be, you can upload that PDF on the platform, and now you have Blue Book scorecard also the platform. The only thing you won't have is the time, because the student did not take the test on this platform, so we don't know the time. But then question, what he answered and which area and all, we have already mapped it. So you will know that, okay, this area he did not do good and all. But we do all the data analysis. So you take full advantage of data analysis with Blue Book results now. So that's
Can
a
you
big
targeted problems like what we have with the practice tests?
So
Is it
you should be,
pulling the
based
same
on the Blue Book
skills?
result. Yeah, based on the Blue Book result, you can create a targeted practice now.
I love that. That is awesome. Well, I hate to do this. I have a
I know
hard
you have to
close.
leave
I
now.
need
That's
to
fine.
scoot, but I am super excited about the ability to upload my students' Blue Book results. Can they also upload the PSAT? Because my students just got their
Yes,
score.
yes, you can do that both.
This is awesome. This is great. And I look forward to the next webinar.
Absolutely. Thank you,
All
Leah.
right.
Thank you for joining.
See you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about, next I'm going to talk about is contact us page. So right now, some of the institutes or centers, their student reach out to us for any help. I mean, while for the contact, we can do that, and for the support, but I would love to have these students reach out to you first in terms of what should be my next test, or am I in the right class? Why can't I see my results? Those type of things, and then you can of course forward that email to us. So we have provided a contact us, and then the contact us page here, you can let me close this one and show you. A student should be able to see contact us page here, and then contact us page is built, and this is the default email because that is the email student has signed up with. Phone number, and can send a message, and then they will also have your email ID, option to chat with you, your phone number, and all your social media stuff here. And that data comes from your institute's data. So as a director, when you go here and you click on my institute, under my institute basic information, you have filled your phone number, your email, and all your social media. This is the information that flows to the contact us page for the student. Now let me go back here. We talked about that. Then I already talked about, there is an option now to create a targeted practice test based on the topic. Earlier, you could do only subject and unit. And this applies to both student for the self-practice and subject practice assigned by a teacher. The teacher can also assign a test, this type of self-practice to a student and also go at the topic level. That's what this change means. And you can do that now on the platform. Earlier, it was not possible. Then also one very interesting one is time accommodation. So time accommodation is available for linear assessments now. So if you are doing a if you're doing a regular test and the student has time accommodation already set, then the student should be able to take advantage of the time accommodation. Earlier, it was applicable only to SAT and ACT, full length and section adapted tests. But now this applies to all type of tests. So it's already there. Again, one of this requirement came from one of our customer. We wanted to listen and we saw the value. So keep giving us the feedback. That's very important. This one is big. So hints. Earlier, when you're taking a learning test or quiz, many times the student is not able to solve it, and you wanted to see, get some sort of hint. And we have, brought a hint option. So if I'm taking a, test, let's say I go to the assessment. Let's say I am, I want to do a quick test here. Let me open math and I'm going to do algebra and say if I select all of this topic. If I open a test now, oh, by the way, I realize one thing. Let me show you how do you enable this first. Okay, so if you go to the assessment and under the assessment, you open one of these assessment. Let's say I want to open a DSAT full length 1. In the assessment, under preferences, you need to set an option that talks about allowing a student. There is an option here. We check. There is an option we have added that talks about allowing a student to take a hint. Let me see if it is enabled in my institute. I may have forgotten about it under the assessment. Okay, I think there is a preference that you set for enabling for example, like for importing the Blue Book in your institute or in your instance, you enable this and click save. There is something similar. I totally forgot. My apology for that. But there's an option that enables the hint, and then you go to the assessment. Under assessment, you should be able to generate a hint for your students. Enable the hints. Let's see if this has an hint option. Preferences. My bad. I'm totally forgot where exactly it is, but we have it under the preferences. I don't know. I need to talk to the team and find it out. We have an option now to enable the hint for a student. So I won't be able to show you right now, but that's perfectly fine. And there is an option here that comes as a hint. Here you can see on this screen here right now on the screenshot from the platform. You can see that you will have this hint, a little puppy. When you click that, we name this puppy Pogo, and named after my dog. It's called Pogo, and Pogo will give a hint to a student when a student is having a hard time solving the question. And you can get up to 3 hints. And again, you can customize it. Say, okay, you don't want your student to get 3 hints, you want only 1 hint. Up to 3 hints you can generate, and hint option will appear every 10 seconds. That way, you don't do click immediately. You click for 1 hint, and system will wait before you can ask for second hint and then ask for another third hint. Again, this is totally customizable, but very helpful to the student. And the student can also give feedback on the hint, what the quality of the hint. That way, our system will, improve the hint using our AI system. We improve the quality of the hint for the next student. So if the hint is bad, next time it will generate better hint. So that is what we have done, it generating the hint and giving thumbs up and thumbs down. And we do a data analysis. Right now we are not doing it, but in future, once we have sufficient data, we plan to do data analysis so that at what stage you took the hint and was the hint useful and did it help you solve the question. And we will have a lot more analysis coming on that one. But right now, we are simply capturing the data. Next one is we talked about edit history feature for assessment questions. So when you log in as a tutor, you want to see the history of all the flagged questions and actually participate in the discussion. You want to see the history. So for now, you can see here you're reporting this. You can report this question, and let's say once you reported this question, and then our team has a different opinion on this. So you will be able to go and write the message on the platform itself. You should be able to write and see the history of all the the number of questions reported and everything on the platform itself. So under the administration, if I go to flagged issues, this one back. Okay. So flagged issues manage, and let's say I want to do math and filter. I should be able to click the history of this. This will open the history of the question. You can see this was the in the blanks, subject, math, and topic. You can as a reporter of this issue, you can click resolve to resolve this question. And I can also edit this question and make some changes. Since I am in the default demo center, I should be able to edit. But when you report a problem, you will not be able to edit this. And you can see who fixed it, what was the issue, what the person reported. The student reported problem with one or more options. And there is another student who says there was some glitch. Your correct answer is written 4 times. Input had a different view. Different students reported on this particular question. And then a student can also go in, or your teacher can go and write a comment here. When we write a comment, you will see what we wrote it. That way, everything happens on the platform. Earlier, we were kind of drifting away from the platform. First time when you report it, then we had to write an email to you, you will respond, all of that part. So now everything on the platform, all the discussions around a question or the quality of the question happens on the platform, very transparent. You can see changes we made it, who made the change, when it was made, what comment you wrote, all the history is preserved here now. Okay? That's the whole purpose of showing you the history of the question. Okay? Let me go back. Again, this is for the director. Next, we talked about is student result for self-practice and targeted. So earlier, when a student did a self-practice or targeted practice, you could not see the result because student did it. And now we have started showing it to you. So when you log in as a director on the platform, let's say you go on the dashboard, sorry, here on the assessment, under the recent results, you will be able to see all the questions which student took it as a self-practice or subject practice. You can do either of these two. You should be able to see the result of those tests also. So now this gives you complete access of all the results of every type of test a student has taken on the platform. Okay. Now we also added in the classroom. This is especially useful when you are in a classroom setting and you are doing group classes. You should be able to see the like comparative results of who is doing really good in the classroom. For example, if I go to this classroom, so if I go to let's say SAT trial, go to classroom here, you can see who are the best 5 performer overall, who are the best in terms of number of questions they have attempted. Earlier this was not there. We have added. You can see number of questions who solved most, and then you can also see who took the least time based on the different questions on an average. So that brings back to, so that's pretty much on what we have developed in the last 2 weeks. Now, a lot of exciting changes for the next sprint. I'm going to show you and give you a glimpse of what's coming next. First and foremost thing is we are working on teacher/director's dashboard. Right now, teacher does not have a dashboard. So teacher do not get an idea of, as a comprehensive idea of who is practicing, who is not practicing, irrespective of classroom. You want to see your top performers. You want to see who are not practicing. Whole idea is to not only improve the engagement on the platform, but also help students practice more. So you will have an overview very, very similar to the student dashboard we added recently. The director dashboard already exists, but it's not very useful. So we are going to revise that also and give a better view. For example, right now, this is what I mean by dashboard. When you click the dashboard, some of the data is not very relevant to a director or owner of the institute like you. So we want to change this and bring more meaningful data to you. So we are going to completely redesign this, and that's what we are working on right now. Then we are also working with diagnostic assessment. So right now, one fundamental change that we are bringing is that as a tutor, when you are doing one-to-one classes, you cannot assign a test directly to a student. You have to always create a classroom. Even for one student, you have to create a classroom. And the fundamental change we are bringing is to allow you to do one-to-one. That means just directly assign tests and courses and a group of tests directly to a student without the need to create a classroom. That's one big change we are doing. And in that same, under this big change, we are also talking about every teacher should be able to click one student and get 360-degree view of the student. For example, you want to see all the tests he has taken, all the courses, his performance, his effort, is he login, everything. Every question he has, had issues, you should be able to see everything of a student. We call it 360-degree view of the student. So you will have that one. Now, in the same context, now that you don't have to create a classroom for individual students, like one-to-one model, we are also removing the need to create a classroom and add a diagnostic test. Now we will have simple an option where you switch on a flag and that test will become a diagnostic test. And you should be able to copy the link and send it to everyone. And they will take the test and join the platform. You don't need to create any classroom for that. Third and very exciting change for me, I would say, is target set dates for assessment. So when you assign a test to a student, either one-to-one or a group class, you want to set a target date. That if, why don't we finish this test by, let's finish this test by Thursday or Friday. You should be able to set the date, and you should be able to track and see who solved, who did it, who did not do it, all of that part. Okay, the test will be sorted by by the target date. Okay, the soonest is first. So we are going to do that part. Now, one more change we are bringing is right now, when a student comes, he takes one diagnostic test, they still have access to get self-practice options, right? And many students, they don't become your student, but they continue to use self-practice. We are going to change that. Until a student has taken two tests and become your student, since you control whom to assign what test, you should be able to mark one or maximum two tests as diagnostic test. And then if the student becomes your, a lead or prospect becomes your student, then you want to open the whole platform for them. So that is what we are changing. The student will not be able to take self-practice test or subject test unless, or targeted test, unless a student has finished at least 3 assessments on the platform. There's going to be a big change for sure. And that way we will also control, and you will actually control who becomes a licensed student or not. Next one is we are talking about is you should be able to assign a test directly to a student. And I already talked about it. Another thing is primary teacher for a subject. So let's say you have 2 tutors and one teaches math, one teaches English. When you create the teacher account, you can mark it and say, every student who joins this in your center or institute or in your org will by default, this particular teacher, let's say for math, Yash will become the tutor. So that way you don't have to go and assign tutors direct one by one to every classroom or to every student. System will automatically add them as instructor in the to the student or to the classroom. So that is the one change which will simplify a lot of things for you as a tutor. We are also working on tracking test participation. So right now you see who took the test, but you don't see who did not take the test. For example, let me open this one. So if you go to an assessment and I open one particular assessment, let's say I open this one, I can go to the results and I can filter and say, okay, I want to see in High School Friends 2024, who are the students who took the test? But there is no way to find it out who did not take a test and send them a reminder. So we are also going to work on that one, that change in coming weeks. And again, direct test assignments from the question bank. So right now, let's say if you go to a question bank and I create a test, I select 3-4 questions and I'm going to create an assessment. right now you can only do a classroom assignment. So again, everything is classroom oriented. So you should be able to select a classroom. But in future, we are changing and we are saying, okay, you can do either through a classroom or you can assign it to a students here. So you can select one or more student and assign a test to them. So this way, you are not always, this is especially again useful for one-to-one tutoring. So as I said, for one-to-one, we're making some good breaking changes on the platform, but we're still keeping the classroom for the group classes. But now you can distinguish between your group classes and one-to-one, and different, orgs run it differently. We are also talking about sorting the classroom assessment. So I'll show you this one. Let's say on the tutor side, when you go to assessment, and let's say I open, classroom, and you open one of the classroom, and I go to assessments here, there is no way to sort this out here. So we are going to add a sorting option here based on date added, based on assessment name, and all of that part. Same thing at the bottom side. You should be able to see a sorting option here too. Going back here, first time navigation help. We are also, if you are coming first time to the platform, system will automatically show you where to go next, what to do next, and all that type of things. We are also working on parent dashboard. The parent dashboard is something we are gonna work, and so that parents can see what's happening with the student, how is he progressing, and they can have more meaningful dialogue with the student and you as a tutor. We are also working on courses now, and test series, basically a test package, a group of tests. And we are talking about similar to assessments. We are talking about directly assigning a course and test package to a student. Yes. Right now you can do it to a classroom, but as you can see, for one-to-one, we are making some breaking changes and we are adding those features so that you can very effectively run one-to-one tutoring. Okay. That's pretty much from my side. I will see you guys again after 2 weeks. Um, I think I have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. See you soon. Bye bye.